10 Vital Tenets of Buddhist Practice. 1. Filial piety and care for one's parents. The Buddha taught that filial piety is the foundation of all virtues. Honoring and caring for one's parents is not only a fundamental practice within Buddhism, but also a basic ethical duty of human life. Even birds and animals are known to repay the kindness of those who nurtured them. How much more should we, as human beings, express gratitude and devotion to our parents? To neglect this responsibility would be to fall beneath even the level of beasts. Our parents are considered the greatest field of merit in this life. The merit of caring for one's parents is said to be equal to the merit of making offerings to the Buddha. Thus, failing to support and revere one's parents is regarded as one of the gravest errors in life. A person lacking filial piety has not even the basic qualities of a moral being, let alone the qualifications to study and practice the Dharma. Moreover, true and complete filial devotion includes encouraging one's parents to develop faith, to generate the aspiration for rebirth in the Western Pure Land, and to engage in the recitation of Amitabha Buddha's name, so that they may ultimately be liberated from the suffering of birth and death. This is the highest and most perfect expression of filial piety. 2. Fulfilling one's duties. As human beings living in this world, each of us bears specific duties and responsibilities. A practitioner of the Dharma must diligently and conscientiously fulfill their role in life, serving as a model of integrity and dedication within the family, society, and nation. True Buddhist practice includes filial devotion to one's parents, proper upbringing of one's children, love and care for one's family, contributing to the welfare of society, and repaying the kindness of one's country. Only in doing so can one be considered a genuine follower of the Buddha. To evade one's responsibilities, neglect one's duties, or speak idly about the Dharma while failing to embody it in action is merely self-deception and a disservice to others. Such conduct can never lead to true spiritual accomplishment. 3. Deep faith in cause and effect, karma. The core of all Buddhist teachings lies in the principle of cause and effect. When we plant wholesome causes, we will inevitably reap wholesome results. When we plant unwholesome causes, suffering will surely follow. The workings of karma are precise and infallible. If retribution has not yet occurred, it is simply because the appropriate time has not arrived. A true practitioner of the Dharma must cultivate unwavering faith in the law of karma, uphold the precepts as their guide, engage in daily self-reflection, and strive to correct their faults without ceasing. Furthermore, one who practices the recitation of the Buddha's name should do so with deep faith, knowing that sowing the virtuous seed of mindfulness of Amitabha Buddha will certainly yield the supreme result of Buddhahood. This is a most profound and wondrous principle of cause and effect. 4. Refraining from killing and practicing vegetarianism. A true follower of the Buddha refrains from all unwholesome actions and diligently strives to eliminate every form of wrongdoing. Among all transgressions, the gravest is that of killing and consuming the flesh of sentient beings. This is because the life of any sentient being is exceedingly precious. To take the life of another for the sake of one's own survival and to consume its flesh incurs deep resentment and enmity from that being. Such acts create profound karmic debts, leading to cycles of revenge in future lives. Blood must repay blood, and the resultant suffering is grievous and tragic. Therefore, abstaining from evil deeds, particularly refraining from killing and adopting a vegetarian diet, is an urgent and essential step in the path of cultivation. 5. Releasing living beings and saving lives. A practitioner of the Dharma must actively engage in virtuous actions. Whenever the opportunity arises to perform good deeds, one should make every effort to act. Among all acts of virtue, releasing living beings is of foremost importance. This is because it constitutes the immediate and direct act of saving lives, and its merit is vast, far exceeding that of ordinary good deeds. The lives of sentient beings are of immeasurable value. When we release and save them from death, they feel deep gratitude, forming wholesome affinities with us. in future lives. Such virtuous causes will yield inconceivable blessings and favorable conditions. Hence, among all virtuous practices, liberating living beings and saving lives stands as the highest expression of compassion and merit. 6. Utmost sincerity and reverence. Utmost sincerity and reverence form the indispensable foundation for the successful accomplishment of any endeavor in the world. Master Yin Guang emphasized that one must devote their entire mind and heart to the Dharma, placing utmost importance on the two qualities of sincerity and reverence. The degree of spiritual attainment one gains corresponds directly to the degree of reverence one possesses. With 1 part sincerity, one attains 1 part merit. With 10 parts sincerity, 10 parts merit follow. This is the essential key to successfully studying and practicing Buddhism, an invaluable teaching that all practitioners should remember deeply. 7. Generating the Bodhi mind. The amount of merit a practitioner accumulates is directly proportional to the expansiveness of their mind. A broad, selfless mind yields great merit. Therefore, a Buddhist practitioner must cultivate a vast and altruistic intention. In all actions, one must never be driven by selfish motives. Rather, every deed should arise from a sincere and honest aspiration to benefit all sentient beings. We strive upward toward Buddhahood by making the vow to attain enlightenment for the sake of all beings. Once this vow is actualized, we gain the capacity to universally liberate others. Simultaneously, we reach outward to guide sentient beings, seizing every opportunity to share the essential teachings of the Buddha Dharma. Moreover, one must earnestly engage in Buddha recitation with a mind fully dedicated to seeking rebirth in the Western Pure Land. This is the genuine expression of generating the Bodhi mind. 8. Prostrating in repentance. Since time without beginning, we have accumulated countless karmic offenses. Were they to take form, the vast reaches of space would not suffice to contain them. This is because, as ordinary beings, we are deeply mired in delusion and heavy karmic obstructions. Thus, the practitioner must give rise to profound shame and remorse, and sincerely engage in repentance through prostration to the Buddhas. A single heartfelt prostration can extinguish transgressions as numerous as the sands of the Ganges River. Bowing to the Buddha in repentance is a tangible expression of our utmost sincerity and reverence. The most effective method is to deeply reflect on our own faults with humility and resolve to correct them. 9. Faith, aspiration, and Buddha recitation. The Pure Land path relies upon the compassionate power of the Buddha for deliverance. Faith refers to deep confidence in the existence of the Western Pure Land and in the presence of Amitabha Buddha. Aspiration is the sincere yearning to be reborn in that pure land, accompanied by a profound disillusionment with the Saha world. Practice is the earnest recitation of the sacred name, Namo Amitabha Buddha, or simply, Amitabha Buddha, with single-minded devotion. As long as one is equipped with these 3 essential conditions, faith, aspiration, and practice, one will be embraced by the great vow of Amitabha Buddha, liberated from the cycle of birth and death, and forever freed from the wheel of samsara. This method is one of the most profound and expedient teachings among all Dharma gates expounded by the Buddha. In principle, a single recitation of Amitabha Buddha carries with it the assurance of rebirth in the Pure Land through the power of Amitabha. Yet, why is it that so many recite the Buddha's name, and so few attain rebirth in the Western Land? This is a deeply serious and essential question. In truth, most practitioners today lack genuine faith and aspiration, and in particular, fear death. Thus, at the root, they do not truly wish for rebirth in the Pure Land. Many today recite the Buddha's name only to seek longevity, health, peace, wealth, and worldly success, rather than rebirth in the Western Pure Land. The word death itself becomes a litmus test. Does one truly possess faith and aspiration? Ask yourself, are you afraid to die? If you were to die this very moment, and Amitabha Buddha came to welcome you to the Western Land, would you be willing to go? A genuine Pure Land practitioner is one who is weary of the Saha world and deeply aspires to be reborn in the land of ultimate bliss. Such a person regards death not with fear, but as a joyous return home. At every moment, they are prepared to leave this world and follow Amitabha Buddha to the Pure Land. They do not fear death, but eagerly long for rebirth. On the other hand, a false practitioner is outwardly devoted but inwardly conflicted. Faith and aspiration are not genuine. Clinging to life and fearing death, they wish only for worldly gain and longevity. Bound by countless attachments, we must understand. One who fears death and is unwilling to seek rebirth in the Pure Land is going against the compassionate vow of Amitabha Buddha. Without the three requisites of faith, aspiration, and practice, how can one expect to attain rebirth? Today, among 1,000 who recite the Buddha's name, perhaps only one is a true practitioner. A true practitioner constantly reflects on death, using it to examine their own sincerity. One who is unafraid of death, welcomes it at any moment, and constantly aspires for rebirth in the Pure Land. Such a one is genuinely practicing, renouncing the Saha world, and seeking the Pure Land. In this way, if 1,000 recite the Buddha's name, then 1,000 attain rebirth. If 10,000 practice, 10,000 are reborn. None are excluded. 10. Diligent practice. The essence of the Buddha's teaching lies in actual practice. There are elderly laywomen who are completely illiterate, unable to read even a single character, and who do not understand the scriptures at all. Yet by simply eating vegetarian meals, bowing to the Buddha, and sincerely reciting Namo Amitabha Buddha, they have attained rebirth in the Pure Land. Their success surpasses even that of erudite scholars who have mastered the Tripitaka but lack genuine cultivation. The key lies in whether one earnestly puts the teachings into practice. Knowledge without practice is like counting soldiers on paper, naming dishes without tasting them, or enumerating treasures that one does not possess, all ultimately meaningless. In summary, the correct approach to Buddhist practice is one of focused dedication. The greatest obstacle is mixed practice, diverting one's attention and scattering one's mind. As long as we grasp the essential points and diligently put them into practice, we will certainly obtain the true and transformative benefit of the Buddha Dharma.